record to the cloud. All right. I think we're good. So
Can
thank
we
you guys
mute
all.
everybody?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you guys want to join in, anything you want to say, I'm happy to hear. We kind of really set this up. We wanted it to be a little bit interactive. And Brian, I don't know if you want to kind of give just an overview of our thoughts and plans and what we're going to be doing.
Sure. So the idea here is the first Friday of every month, we get together as a group and we talk about just some of the basic fundamentals we're training. Jen will go ahead, and I've reached out to some of you as far as the sales managers. If we could make sure Jen has everybody's email, I'd like to have that direct contact with her to the sales reps, and obviously include the managers as well, to be able to give feedback back and forth, to be able to go ahead and have follow-up tips from the trainer, so to speak. And then also we can expect from today is we'll go ahead, and today's going to be all about discovery as an example. And then Jen's going to go ahead and recap in an email that goes out. We'll record all of the Zooms and create a library for training purposes. And then what'll be effective down the road is from everybody on this call, whether a sales rep or manager, director, that if there's things you'd like to see in training for the course of the next week or upcoming, then we can have that feedback directly with Jen, and she can cover what's relevant for our sales team. So this is all about the team. It's all about us as a whole and getting everybody together on the same page, moving forward with the same training. So we're excited for it. It'll be once a month. Yeah, I think Jen's excited as well. So yeah, we're ready to go.
Absolutely. All right. So I know Brian said we're going to talk a little bit about discovery today. Honestly, we could spend the next 6 first Fridays of the month talking about the discovery. I mean, there's just so many things that we need and that you can find out of that. So really what I wanted to kind of focus on today is how it feels when a customer is going through the discovery. Because you know what, we hear this a lot, and we all get there, especially if you're not seeing a lot of tours. If this time of year in the holidays, we're off, we're on, it's not our busiest time of year. And I think we sometimes get nervous and we forget to listen. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but for me, it's like I come in and I'm almost like, let me just get it. I just need to get it. Let's get the deal. And I forget to listen to what the customer is telling me. And I don't put them in that place of feeling good about vacations. And that's kind of what this is all about. So a lot of you have been in one of my morning meetings, so this won't be odd to you. The others it may be, but I got a facial the other day. So has anyone gotten a facial before? Yeah. Okay. So when I go,
I've given them.
so I go and I get, when I get a facial, I go once a month and I see this wonderful woman, Rosemary, and I go and she'll tell me, she'll do this stuff at the beginning where she shines this light in my eyes and she has steam coming on my face, and then she like pokes at me and it's not good. And then she does this amazing face massage where she's touching your pressure points and it's long. I mean, it's this nice long facial massage, and she has this beautiful music on, and there's a nice like lavender scent in the room, and I start to feel in this almost like Zen place, and my heart rate slows down and my breathing slows down and I'm in this Zen state. And then she switches and she puts this tingly mask on, and I'm thinking, oh no, this isn't good. And then she massages my arms and my hands, so it keeps me in this Zen state. And then she puts this mask on that crinkles and it kind of tightens up, and I'm like, oh. And then she does this pressure point on your head, and again, you just feel relaxed and comfortable. And then at the end, she massages your temples, and she says to me, this is what's going on with your skin, and if you come back in 30 days, if you book your appointment today, I'll give you a 10% discount. So I booked my appointment. Well, I got a facial on Monday. It was not that experience. I went in, and as she's making me Zen, she turned around and she crashed into something, and I jumped. And now I can't get myself back. And she turned nervous. She wasn't able to soothe me back into this Zen state. So now she decides, because we are friends, that she wants to talk to me as the tingly stuff's on my face. And she decides she wants to talk politics. And just like here at work, we don't talk politics. When you're getting a facial, you don't talk politics. And so she's now talking politics. And then the crunchy thing goes on my face. And she wants to talk about her mother and her son and all the problems that they're having and the son's girlfriend. And at the end of the facial, she says to me, this is what's going on with your face. If you'd like to book in 30 for your 30-day appointment, I'll give you a 10% discount. And I said to her, I'll call you when I'm ready. And I left. Now, I left knowing full well, I'm gonna get a facial in 30 days. I get one every 30 days from the same woman. I do the same thing. And I was thinking on my way home, why didn't I just book it? I'm gonna spend the money anyways. I'm gonna probably go back to Rosemary. Why didn't I just book my facial? I didn't feel good. I didn't have that good, warm, fuzzy feeling. I felt as though my facial was about her and it wasn't about me. How many times do you think our customers feel that during their sales presentation? We forget to make it about them. And we ask them questions in our discovery that are just first level questions. Where was your last vacation? Oh, you went to Orlando? That's great. And then we spend the rest of our presentation talking about Orlando without even knowing how it made them feel or why they went there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's one of those
Oh, yeah.
things that when we're in our own brains and we're doing a discovery, we are convinced that we know what they need. We have no idea. And if we don't make them feel that warm and fuzzy about going on vacation and about the vacations that they've been on, how are we ever going to, at the end? Yes, they're going to know, just like I know for my facial, it's good for me. They're going to know that they're going to spend the money anyways. I honestly have no idea what that stuff does that she puts on my face, yet I go back every single month. I don't know how it works. I don't know what it's for. I just know that you're supposed to get a facial. It's good for you and it feels good every day when I go. So that's why I go. I don't go because I know what it does. Just like for our owners, when they buy, they shouldn't know how it works. What do we say? Get points, go on vacation, make your life better. That's all that, but if we don't know what they need in their life that's going to make it better, we're going to miss that piece. And we're going to fill it up with what is important to us. So in the discovery, first of all, we all know this, and I'm going to send you guys out. I've got a bunch of notes on the discovery, and we're going to do more about this in the future. But the big thing that I really want to get to is, even if you don't find any of the big information, I want you to get to a place this weekend where they're excited about going on vacation and they're remembering what it was like when they used to be able to travel, how it felt, what it looked like, what it smelled like, how their family felt, how their children felt. Because if we have that information and we can pepper that through the rest of our presentation, there's a very good chance that at the end, they'll buy. So in the discovery, you all know we're looking for a bunch of things. Anybody want to tell me one of the things you're looking for? I'm going to test some people here.
Dominant buying motive.
Yes, Mike.
Bingo.
Yay. If I had candy, I would throw it at you, but.
Virtual, we need virtual candy.
I know, I think there might be something in here. I can do one of those reaction things for you, but no, exactly. We're looking for a dominant buying motive. That's a huge thing. And that's really one of the things that I want to talk about today. That's that emotional reason that people buy. What are some of the other things that we need in the discovery?
Objections.
Yes, we're looking for objections. Absolutely.
Vacation commitment.
Vacation commitment. You guys are good. I'm very impressed. We're looking for a travel problem as well. You know, something that we can fix with our product. But there are really 5 big things that we're looking for in our discovery. You know, we're looking for the dominant buying motive. That's a huge thing. We're looking for an objection. We're looking for a travel problem. We're looking for a vacation commitment. Yes, I'm going to go no matter what. And we're looking for a dream vacation. And we're looking for a realistic dream vacation. And you all know what I mean when I say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
One that they might actually take.
Not
One they
Bora
might-
Bora.
Yeah, yes, yeah,
Not Bora Bora, yeah.
yeah. Well, I
You froze.
I remember, you hear this all the time because, I just want to let you know that your managers are all superheroes. They all have amazing hearing and they walk around the sales floor and they can hear everything you say. Right, Tino?
Right.
He knows. He sits as far away from me as he possibly can, but he's impressed that I can hear.
Voice is to hear. She can hear everything.
So when we're walking around the floor, I'll hear people will start and ask questions and they'll say, so give me where, if there's anywhere in the world you could go, where would it be? And I'll hear Bora Bora and Tahiti and Dubai and Greece and Australia. And then at the end of the presentation, they'll be like, and you can go to Australia. And the customer will be like, yeah, but I'm scared to fly.
Yeah. We didn't listen good.
Right?
Mhm.
Right.
I mean, what are we doing with that? I'm scared to fly. Okay. So when you're looking for a dream vacation, it's got to be a realistic dream vacation, something that they could see themselves doing in the next 5 years. That's I think that's a big thing. Did you ever really think about doing this? Although it would be wonderful to go to Australia, where could we go in the next 5 years? So that's what I mean by a dream vacation. When you're asking these questions, so we all have different surveys. I know everybody uses different questions during their discovery. I like to use the last vacation, your best vacation, your dream vacation, your next vacation, and if there's anything you could change about the way you're vacationing now, what would it be? So I find that kind of gives you a good overview, but I know you all have your own discovery questions, which is wonderful. I mean, you should, but those for me have been, I found, and I think my team here at Harbor Walk uses that survey, the last best next dream change, and it gives you a good kind of overview of what they're doing in their lives. But what we don't want to do, and how many of you have done this, because I have, where was your last vacation? Oh, that's wonderful. Where's your next vacation going to be? Oh, you don't have one planned? Oh, that's too bad. How about a dream vacation? Oh, you're going to Bora Bora, even though you have nothing planned. Wonderful. We have to jump in with extra questions, your second and third level questions, or else we're not going to have any idea of what they're really doing. Okay. So when you ask somebody about their last vacation, what are some extra questions that maybe we should ask after that?
How's that working for you?
Would you go there again?
Yes, Michelle, would you
Yeah.
go there again?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Would you go there again?
You can ask them what they did on their vacation that they loved.
What'd you like about it?
Yeah.
Antoinette, that's a great one. Yes, absolutely. What did you do on your vacation that you really loved?
What didn't you love?
Bob, very good. What didn't you do? Now, for you guys on the road as well, I think discoveries are important. You have,
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Even more so.
Yeah.
Even more so. It's
Less
with our-
time.
Mhm. With our owners, that's the big thing. It's very easy to go in and say, oh, hey, you need more points. Come on now, I've done that.
Well, they do.
They do.
They do.
That's right, kids.
They always need more.
They always need more points, but that doing a proper discovery is a big thing. So we're asking about what they've done with their points. You can do the same thing. What's their last vacation that they went on with their points? What did they do? How did they feel when they were there? What did it look like? Who did you travel with? Right? Always good questions to ask. Is it a place you would go again? Do you go often? This was the funniest thing I've ever heard is somebody talked about how their last 2 vacations, they went to the Caribbean. And the sales rep then spent the whole time talking about going to the Caribbean. And when they came up to do the RCI presentation, I was told that they liked the Caribbean. And the customer looked at me and said, oh, no, I don't ever want to go there again. And I went, why not? And they said, because we had to go for 2 destination weddings. It cost us a fortune. We hate the beach. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Okay, let me not show you the Caribbean, which is all honestly a great thing to show on RCI. So I'm like, where do you want to go? But we get caught up in somebody gives us an answer, and it's really easy for us just to go with that and just assume, right? So make sure you're asking those follow-up questions, not just the where did you go, but the feeling questions and the dream questions and the emotional reasons, how did it feel when you were there? How did it feel watching your children see Mickey Mouse for the first time after you saved up for 5 years to go? Do you think that might put them back in the picture?
Yeah.
Of course.
So those are your level 1 questions are fact questions. Where did you go? And a lot of us stop there. Or what would you change? Oh, I don't know, I'd go more. So would I. I'd go on vacation tomorrow if I could. I don't know about you guys.
We know that, Jen. We know that.
I definitely would. So, but why? Those are the next level. So we're looking at your level 2 questions, which you're looking at feelings and dreams and priorities. Can you describe your vacations? Tell me what your favorite part was. Those are your level 2 questions. And then from there, if you could ask those level 3, even just why are vacations important to you? And if you could change anything about the way that your children are vacationing, kind of bring it back into emotional. That's a big thing.
Mhm.
Now, one of the things that we are looking for in the discovery is an objection, right?
Yep.
Mhm. And a travel problem. How many times have you guys been on during your tour in your discovery and you've said, so where was your last vacation? And the customer says, oh, we don't go on vacation.
Mhm. Yeah. Had it.
We hope they haven't said that because you should have addressed it earlier in your gift thing, but,
They said it.
but that's a different training. But or we don't like to go on vacation, or I just like to work too much, or whatever their objection is. Oh, we don't have enough money to go on vacation, or we have Marriott points and that's where we stay. It happens all the time, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Customers come in and their job is to find reasons not to buy this. And our job is to find reasons to buy it. So what do?
Michael?
Actually, you know what? The fact that none of you said anything is really good because we do nothing.
Yeah.
We do nothing during
That's my
that.
answer. That was it. That was my answer. We do nothing.
Not that we do nothing, but how many times do you have somebody say, oh, I would never stay at this resort? And you're like, yeah, but it's
Mhm.
great. Or, oh, well, wait, you should know this, or we can do this, or our product does this.
It's a bullshit objection.
And even if
What they
it
think they're
isn't
supposed to say.
that they think they're supposed to say, absolutely. And even if it isn't, it's not the time to it's your discovery. Exactly. We're not supposed to be fixing
Selling
the
it.
objection.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be discovering the objection. Ooh, I liked that. I might have to use that again. In your discovery, you're supposed to be
Write that down.
discovering your objections. You're supposed to be discovering the emotional reason that people are going on vacation. If somebody tells you their dream vacation is Hawaii, should you be talking all about all the wonderful places that your points can take you in Hawaii right now?
No.
No,
No,
not
Save
now.
it.
You can't go.
And we do, because we're nervous, and it's normal and natural for us to want to fix their problems or be right. I hate to say that. How many of us just want to be right?
Mhm.
I do.
Be right, but don't be right now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Write that down.
I like that too. I'm going to steal that one. No, it's the truth. I mean, I talk to my husband and I know sometimes I even know I'm wrong. And I'm like, I am 100% certain that this is how it goes. He doesn't need to hear that. Nobody does. So during your discovery, make sure that if you find these little things, that we're saving them for later. Okay.
We're not pitching in the discovery, right, Jen?
Mhm.
Right.
Absolutely. We do not pitch. We do
not
not
selling.
sell. I don't want to hear, I honestly, and Scott, you used to do this when I was a rep years and years and years and years ago. You wouldn't even let us have a planner until we had done our warm up. And then if you heard us pitching in the discovery, you take our planner away. You know, that was a good piece there because it forced you to get your people in the right headspace to even answer the questions, right?
Right.
And pitching in the discovery was always bad, but we all want to do it.
And Jen, you hit the nail on the head too. You do a lot of solution-based selling. So when we get these objections up front, you know, a lot of times as a sales rep, we need to welcome those objections because we use product to overcome them as opposed to using the discovery as a point to address it. So I think it's really important when we get these objections to welcome more and more of them and be in the right headspace to now use product as opposed to just overcome them immediately. We take them back, we load it, and then that gives our presentation.
Absolutely. No, that's the truth. And one of the trainings that we're going to do this year is that the earlier you told me training.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, that's a huge thing. And we've kind of been working on that a little bit here. The earlier you told me training, meaning that you should be keeping all of the objections and your travel problems and your dominant buying motives. And if you need to write them down, it's okay. That's why you have a survey. If you need to take notes and tell them that you're taking notes so that you can tailor the presentation to them. I don't think people mind that. I mean, do you see anybody that's upset if you take notes?
Nope.
I actually think you should tell the customer what you're doing. Don't hide it. I had a problem remembering names and stuff. So the first thing I used to do as soon as I grabbed the sheet is I'd put the names of the people across the top, and I would tell them, I'm sorry, I talk to a lot of people and I forget sometimes. I found that was a time for writing down what the objections were, and you do it with notes that you understood. They didn't necessarily have to understand them. And I'd say, listen, I talk to a lot of people. I just write some things down that are important to me. These are just for me. Mm-hmm. And then people didn't care what you wrote down, but it's like cheating. You got to find a way to remember the things that you learn is what Jen is telling us. Doesn't do us any good to go through the motions and then not keep and retain any of those wonderful bullet points we have for later. It's also how we have third-party stories to cover such things. So to cover objections like that. And if we have time, we can objectively get a good third-party story. So I agree with you 100%, Jennifer. It's about what we learn. It's about what we learn from the discovery. That's important.
Absolutely. And if we don't remember it, it does us no good.
It did. Yep.
And it doesn't do the customer any good. Because let me tell you, if somebody sees me, if I tell somebody something a week ago, and then they come back and they say, you know what, Jen, I was just following up with you. I just wanted to see how that worked out. It makes me feel really special.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're remembering what the customer said, and 20 minutes down the road, we could say, hey, remember when you told me that you couldn't travel because putting 6 kids in a hotel room just didn't work for you? Now they're like, wow, she's listening. And it's a great way to build that trust with the customer. So please write things down. Okay. Everyone's like, yes.
Okay.
They're writing, Jen.
Yes.
And Jen, write the kids' names down.
Oh, Scott, that's a very good point.
Yep.
Yes.
Write the dog's name down.
You remember their kids' names, you have a home run.
And their ages, and you're right. Because
if you do all the talking in discovery, you're not doing very good discovery.
Right.
Mhm.
You got to get the exchange going there. That's when it all begins. When they become at the same level as you, if you give them the chance in discovery, they reach the same level as you. You're not below them. You're not above them. It's just you listen, you talk, and you listen, and Jen's 100% right that later on during the presentation they will say you'll cover something, an objection that they had maybe in a third-party story, and they say to themselves, "She listened to me because I said that in the beginning." And all of a sudden we've gained credibility, and then the customer begins to listen to us more. It's about getting the customer to interact with us, which is what you're asking everybody to do, Jen.
And you know what? And it's hard sometimes. I know it doesn't come naturally for all of us to listen. I think it's amazing to me that you guys come in here every single day and you're able to do, that we're all able to do what we do, because it's much more natural for people to talk instead of listen. It just is. Listening is a learned skill.
Yes, it is.
You can't see.
You've got to make the customer listen to you and ask a question. You've got to do that in order to get a sale out of there.
Absolutely.
You've got to go on and on and on and play the game with them all the way, ask them questions, and then shut up and let them talk to you.
Tino, you're right. Ask the question and then shut up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two
We all
ears,
like
one
to-
mouth.
We all like to talk too much. It's part of our being, if you will. If we're salespeople and what we do, it's because we love to talk. You didn't get this job because you don't like to talk, but you love to talk. But the key is a certain time in the presentation where you talking is preaching and you listening is listening. And the customer understands when he's being preached to in a discovery. So which is why Brian and everybody's saying, don't pitch during the discovery. Find out and don't turn around and go, "Oh, you didn't like Disney?" in the warm-up. Go ahead and say that to somebody. Just listen and go, "Oh, geez, yeah, we hear that once in a while." It's
Shut
so
them
much
down.
more effective. You know, exactly. Let them talk, let them feel good. And again, it's your memory. We've got to, Jen, you got to train yourself to remember the facts that they tell us during the warm-up.
Absolutely.
And that's why I said I cheated sometimes. I wrote the important things down. The customer didn't care, and they really liked it when later on you would overcome an objection without pointing the finger in their face and saying that. We know in our presentation, we cover a lot of the things that we would consider objections in discovery. And when we do it in a natural way, it's not pointing a finger at the customer and saying, "Ha ha, you know." We give them a chance to get it in their heads if you do good listening. And then all of a sudden go, "So you're saying then that I could go and we could bring the 4 children and it's not a problem and we could stay in the same unit." That's what you're saying to us. Yes, not in 2 rooms or anything like that. Because the objection originally was we had 4 kids, we had to get 2 motel rooms, and getting 2 together was a real pain in the neck. So you overcome that during your presentation, and then at the end, you look like a hero to that person. That doesn't look like you stuck your finger in their face and said, "Hey, by the way, you dope for going to 2 stupid motel rooms. You could buy timeshare and go to a condo for Christ's sakes." That doesn't do you any good to do that. It's all about discovery and talking.
And Jen, I think it's important too, when we start our discovery with our clients, whether it's in-house or frontline, we tell them we're about to do a discovery and we make it all about them and tell them the intent behind the discovery to make it about them, right? So it doesn't feel like an interrogation. They're waiting. It's an endless process. If we lead in with John and Mary Beyer, right? At this point in the presentation, this is all about you. What I'd like to do is take a few moments to really learn more about you, what's important to you, what's not important to you, in an effort to customize my presentation to suit you and your family best today. So if it's all right with you, to be as candid as you like with me, I'd really like to hear what makes you tick, what you'd like to do, what you've done in the past, and then we can go ahead and look at our program to see if we're a fit for you or not. Right? As an example, and they'll tend to be a lot more open because you brought up the point. We've got to get all that on the front, and the best gift a client can give us or a tour can give us up front is all the objections. Because if not, we have to go ahead and uncover them as we go. And if we're not getting these third-party these second, third level questions, if that's missing from our discovery, it also tells us we're missing tie downs throughout the presentation because we're not digging in on the front. That's certainly going to follow suit to the rest. So it's super important. And then also confirmation. Make sure that we heard. How many times have we given a presentation, we've really stuck to a point because we heard something that they said, and we get to the end and we couldn't have been further from the truth.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons that I really, so first of all, you 100% should all be introducing your discovery and kind of giving them a time frame. I mean, you should be doing some sort of statement of intent no matter what, but we're going to ask you some questions so that I can tailor the presentation to you. I'm going to show you how the product works, right? Based on what you like, not what we like. So that we definitely should be doing that. And then in the discovery, one of the reasons I really like to use, and I think you've all heard this or seen this, because I think most of you have come down here for training at one point or another, but I really like to use the last next best dream change sequence when we're asking questions. And the reason I do that is because of the memory. It tends to be able to find all the problems you'd like. You know, is there anything you could change about the way you're vacationing now? What would it be? You're probably going to find a travel problem. So it's written there. Here, now your travel problem is there, right? A lot of times when you ask people about their best vacation and they tell you, oh, we went here and we did this and we did this, and have you been back? No, what do you have planned next? We don't. Most people tell you they don't have another vacation planned. Your next question should be why? You just told me how wonderful this trip was you went on. Why don't you have anything else planned? That's going to find your objections. So that next question. So the change is generally going to find your travel problems, and the next vacation is going to find your objections. So if you kind of keep it simple, but then use your second and third level questioning, your why questioning and your how questioning after those, you're going to get them in the picture, but be able to find those 5 things that we need to be able to continue on. And I know you've all heard this before, but that's one of the reasons I use that. I know a lot of people like to talk about, you know, they have a really big, long discovery and all different things, but if you can kind of keep it simple, you're going to get all the things you need, but then you can ask all of those big follow-up questions. So your last vacation, what did you do? Who did you go with? Is that something you do very often? What's your favorite part about being there? Tell me about your best vacation. Most people in their best vacations, we hear honeymoons a lot. You know, they've been married 25 years. Have you ever been back? No. Why not? Great way to find an objection, right? You know, your next vacation, we just talked about that. Dream vacation. How come you haven't been? What would it look like to you? Where would you stay? But you're going to get objections out of all of that. And if you're taking notes, you're going to have it all in front of you. And then, of course, you're looking for a vacation commitment. Why are vacations important to you? And at the end of that, if you've got it all, and I'm going to I'll send you all kind of what I mean, because I have that in a survey form, the last best next dream change. I'll send that all to you because it makes it really nice and easy. And then at the end of that, if you've taken all your notes, you can do that information confirmation piece that you need to. Let me just make sure I heard you right. Your last vacation was in Florida and you took your kids and you did this and you did that and you really loved it. You don't know if you'd go back, but maybe every couple of years you might like to. Your best vacation was here. You don't have anything planned because you're really concerned about having to get 2 hotel rooms. It's just a lot of money. And although you really like to travel, that makes it really difficult. If you could travel more, you'd be happy. It sounds as though vacations are really important to you, aren't they? And if they don't say yes, we have to keep going.
Jen, do you teach, when you train, do you teach people in their discovery to ask their tour if they vacationed as a child?
You know what? That's a great question. And I have not used that, but that's a really great question.
I find it to be super important, especially in New England, you know, and oftentimes I'll find that if I'm on tour and I ask in my discovery question, I'll oftentimes get if I have a couple, one spouse will say they have and one says they haven't.
Mhm.
And if it's not important, if they didn't do it as a child, typically that's going to present a challenge where do they value that as an adult? And that's a really good position to say, you know, in terms of, do you want that to change? Right. And you assume that's why they're here and talk about it. But I think it's important to ask that of a tour.
That's I like that question. That's a great question.
You want the same for your children. I've
What's
asked
that,
all
Al?
that.
I haven't heard anybody say, I've been asking a lot lately, have you had any major life events happen lately?
Right. There's a
Do you have
lot.
a wedding coming up? Are you buying a house? Because I found that if I ask that in the beginning, it's much easier to get over those later on because you know it's coming.
Those are great
Absolutely.
warm-up questions.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Mhm. So, and Brian, you just made a really good point that I didn't hit that we really should hit big, and I do in training. When you ask somebody a question and they're part of a couple, you should get answers from both.
Yeah.
And I know how many times do we do this? You've got one chatty one, and then you have one that sits there like this.
Mhm.
And at the end, the one that sits there like this is like, nope. And you think, I have a deal. I've heard this 100 times. I have a deal. She loves it. Well, she loves it. But what is he thinking?
He's thinking about what time the game's on.
Exactly right. How the hell can I get out of here?
Right.
What does she want me to buy?
So that person that's not talking, it's so important to engage them in the conversation as well, because their answers may be different and most likely are. I always joke, you know, there are two types of vacationers. You have sitters and you have doers. You know, the ones that like to sit on the beach with a cocktail in their hand, like me, and then the ones that want to like jump off a bridge. And
How about the ones that want to jump off a bridge with a cocktail in there?
well, but you know, I'll sit down and I'm ready, and then my husband starts to like nudge me. Can we go in the water? Do you want to play frisbee? I'm like, no, I'm on vacation. But we like two different things. So when you're asking your customers what they've done on vacation and what their favorite vacations are, why vacations are important to them, make sure you're getting that information from both of them and include that, follow up with that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Sometimes you got to push a little bit with that. You might have the quiet person say things like, "Oh yeah, well he knows everything I like," or you know,
Right.
and especially if it's the wife that's the quiet one, you really want to get her involved, because sometimes you can overcome the husband being a curmudgeon and the wife wants to travel. He'll do it
Right.
for her.
Right.
You're not going to have the wife doing it for the husband very
Baba
often.
knows
If she,
nobody.
yeah, if she doesn't, yeah, you got to get her involved if she's trying to be quiet.
So the
Sometimes you got to
truth.
push a little bit.
It's called deflecting, Mike. She's just deflecting away, or he, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, you got to have both, or you're not going to get one at all. You know, the one thing happened to me one day. I'm doing my discovery. I go through the whole thing. I've got a family that has 3 kids, and they're talking back and forth, and I don't realize it's a second marriage. I don't realize that it's a his and a her thing. Okay.
Right.
And so I get into the thing. So tell me, you know, how was your honeymoon? And man, that woman come across the table, almost took my head off. She said, yeah, the cheap bastard gave his first wife a honeymoon, didn't give me one. And I was like, oh my God, I got a lot of trouble here now. How am I gonna get this back? Now I want you to know I sold those people because I made that guy buy it for that girl. I embarrassed him into buying that for a second wife. But it was one of those things. I didn't catch that. And if it hadn't come to light, I probably would have not had a deal. And we deal with that today a lot. The combined families, and they don't want to talk to everybody about, oh yeah, I have 2 daughters and my husband has 1 son, and so we have 3 kids now. Makes a big difference, because you can kind of feel like, okay, what did he do wrong for the first wife, or what did she do wrong for the first husband? And they're trying to make it better. And so sometimes pretty important to find those kind of things out. Without a good discovery, unless you get them talking, they're not going to tell you that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
Jen, when you talk about getting both people involved, when you're doing telesales, take it to another level when you can't see the people.
Oh yeah.
You can't tell that the guy isn't paying attention. You have to
Right.
literally say, Dave, right?
Right.
Dave, I'm going to keep talking to you. It's like we're back in school. I'm going to make sure you watch it. I don't use cameras with, you know, the Zoom guys do, I get it. But if you're not using a camera, you literally have to make sure he's not walking off to the fridge or something like that. So,
Or folding laundry or something. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. And if you have a hard time getting somebody to open up, it's a great opportunity to bring in one of your managers for a bump. Okay, let us try to help. That's what we're here for. So we're getting close. It's 9:44. So I'm going to give you all, so here at Harborwalk, we do question of the day a lot. So this team will know it. So I'm going to give you all a question of the day to use with your tours for this weekend. So when somebody's talking about where they've been on vacation, and I don't care if you've been there or not, I want you to say to them, wow, I've never been there. If I was to go, what's the one thing I should do?
Good.
Okay. And if you can get that, it means you put them back in the picture. We do contests here at Harborwalk with that, so you're welcome to share your answers with your manager, and whoever gets the most this weekend wins bragging rights or marbles.
Or marbles.
I don't have anything to give you, but but that's a big thing. We'll keep track, at here at Harborwalk, I'll keep track on the wall. Anyone that comes to me and tells me the one thing I should do on the person's vacation, I'll keep track on our board, and whoever wins at the end gets bragging rights for the week. So that's my question of the weekend. I've never been there. If we had one place, if there's one thing I should do, what would it be? All right.
All right.
Questions, anything? Are we?
Jen, I have a question. I was wondering, Scotty, are you having a bad hair day or something that you're not on video with us this morning?
I'm on 2 videos, Billy. I'm over here. See?
Yeah.
That's Scott.
Oh, he's on 2. Why are you on
He's got 2.
Because my Chromecast doesn't work for Zoom, but my phone does. And I like my computer so I can see all your pretty faces.
Oh, good. Okay. Just wondered if you had a bad hair day going. That's okay. Go ahead.
God, you're not making enough money to go buy a computer that works with Zoom? I mean, do we need to give him a raise?
No, we do not.
That ain't happening.
They'll be coming after us for a company computer this week. Be quiet.
Jake, where are you, Jake?
I'm here.
Scott,
remind me, I'll try to fix your computer this weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. I don't charge much.
Everything was fantastic.
Get Adam out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jen. Great job.
Thank you.
Good job, Jen.
Yes, nice
Yeah, I
work,
really
Jen.
enjoyed that. That was
Thank you.
awesome.
I'm glad
you.
you guys liked it, and thank you guys for participating. So,
You're welcome.
Chip, do you have Grinches?
Of course I do. I'm setting it up as we speak.
All right.
What are Grinches? Oh, yeah, the little.
The Grinches.
The presents. Yeah, the presents. Good presents.
Ah.
All
While
right.
he's setting that up, so
I am.
oh, you're good. Okay.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Jen. I'm ready when you are.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say, I'll make sure I've got notes on first, second, and third level questioning. I have a survey with that last best, next stream and change. So I'll email that out to all of you, just so you have it if you're interested, but at least you'll have a little, just a recap of what we talked about today.
Awesome.
Okay.
Sounds good, Jen.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Good
Very
seeing
good.
everybody.
It's great. This is really cool. Now go out there, everybody, and have a great day. You had a great training to begin with, and let's make some sales. It's the first weekend of the new year. We want to make everybody proud. So go out and have a hell of a weekend and have some fun and do your discoveries the way Jen told you, and you'll make some extra money this weekend. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you, Jen, for doing this for us.
No, you're very welcome. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.
You're welcome. Have a great day, everyone.
You too,
All right.
Bill.
See you, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.
you.
Bye, guys.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome,
Bye
guys.
now.
Bye.
All right, guys. This is kind of the Jake and Kent show today.
Sorry.
Because they had a pretty good week. So we will start with Mr.